Hey, welcome to the Caffeinated Mammal Compilation Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Fox. On this episode, we have singer-songwriter Steven Massey. He talks about the plight of being a musician, unapologetic songwriting, the pros and cons of open mics, and he performs his song, Bury Me. Feeling good?
Feeling good?
Cozy?
Cozy. So cozy.
All right. Okay, so in the studio today, we have Steven Massey.
Hey.
Welcome to the party, man.
Thanks for having me, dude. This is awesome.
You're welcome. I usually say introduce yourselves and what you do in the band, but it's you today. So
I am the fucking band. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. All the things.
Yeah.
So, start with where you're from. I know you're local-ish to here.
So I live in Lenoir, North Carolina now. I grew up in Tennessee and then moved all over. Moved to Charlotte about 2.5 years ago, and then moved to Lenoir last year, I think.
Cool. How long have you been doing music?
Off and on since I was like 16.
Okay.
I guess. Yeah. I should be way better for how long I've been doing
How
this
old
shit.
are you now?
45 next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 42. So
Okay. You don't look fucking that old at all.
Oh, it's all the
Yeah.
it's all the coffee I drink.
That's all the coffee.
I was gonna
like
make
the edit there.
an off-color joke, but I didn't want to get weird.
Let's get weird, man.
Let's get weird. Yeah. Cool, man. So I'm stoked to have you here. We met very briefly at Hickory Premiere.
Yep.
A few months ago.
Which I forgot like an asshole. I
No, it's fine.
when I walked in.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But I guess it makes sense why you weren't on my radar before, because you weren't here
Right.
until fairly recently. Let me move this.
Yeah, and even when I first moved here, I wasn't playing at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like I basically was on a hiatus for close to a decade. I hadn't really played at all, played out, played at home, written much. And then my daughter got into playing last year, and I started playing guitar for her for open mics.
Yeah, I saw that,
Yeah.
actually.
And then I was like, oh man, I miss this attention from strangers. So I got the itch and I started picking it back up again. But I had quit playing because of fuck-ups in the previous marriage, and I had to put it down just for the sake of, like, I've never been good at self-control, and so when I was out doing it kind of full-time and stuff, I was not very good at not doing drugs and other non-healthy activities.
It's part of the atmosphere, right?
Yeah,
It's the accoutrement.
right. And I also, in the early days, I was like unmedicated bipolar disorder, so it was a train wreck of my life.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Now I'm a functional train wreck. So
Good for you.
It works out. Yeah,
Good
thanks.
for you. Really happy for you, man. I'm really glad that's it's working for you now.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I'm still an alcoholic. Obviously, I'm fucking drinking here at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Do you want to give a public advertisement to this cup that you walked in and were telling me about?
Yeah, so this is not an endorsement, paid endorsement, obviously, but there's a company called Flask Cap, and it looks like a Yeti. They actually make a lid for a Yeti that you could buy as well if you don't want to buy the whole thing. But it's like a metal container you can put your beverage of choice, whether it's soda, tea, whatever, and then there's a little 6-ounce hidden compartment in the top you can fill full of booze, and then there's a button on the back that you can push it all the way in for all the booze, half in for a mix, or all out just for your normal beverage. So
It's like a little Circle water bottle, but
Yeah.
for adults.
yeah, it's sneaky.
For the cool
I
kids.
I take it to, like I said, when the kids, I'm going to school events. I take it often because
Perfect.
it's what helped me get through school events.
I won't tell.
Nah, that's fine, thanks.
Yeah. So you've been doing this basically your whole life.
More or less, yeah.
More or less. Same. So you said you were doing music full time for a while?
For a little while, yeah. I was gigging. I mean, I played some festivals, did solo stuff, but where I was at, there wasn't a thriving music. Well, there was, but I've had this problem since I was, tried to be super punk rock, when I was younger, and fucking terrible in all the bands. And then when I started growing as a solo artist, I found that what I do doesn't really fit in the countryside. I don't usually have a full band to play on the rock side, and so it's really hard just to book shows how I play that are actual shows. Even openers, people are really weird about that stuff, and I fucking hate doing 3-hour bar gigs.
I understand. No, yeah.
I mean, they pay well as a solo guy, right? If you can spit that out, but I hate it so much.
I don't have the will to learn 3 hours worth of cover songs.
Right. Well, I always had a problem too because I didn't either, and so I would play close to 3 hours worth of originals, and the bar would be like, "No, we want you to play more covers." I'd be like, "Well, I'm not," and then I'd get fired from the gig.
It's not me, man.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, was it the same stuff that you're doing today? similar vibes as what you were doing full time?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't really start coming to my. I've always been a late bloomer, and I didn't really come into my own as a writer or stylistically until probably my 30s,
Okay,
honestly.
fair.
So prior to that, it was always like, oh, I wanted this to sound like this. Like you have a signed MXPX poster, right? We were
Yeah.
talking about that's like was the gateway for me,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be like melodic punk band so much because that's where prior to pop punk, right? It was skate punk or melodic
Goddamn
punk,
right.
right? And I wanted to be that so bad, but like I couldn't write that way. My voice was shit back then. I started smoking, and that helped my voice tremendously, ironically
Yeah.
enough. But yeah, so it was always terrible trying to do other people's stuff or other things stylistically, trying to mimic other people. And then I started kind of writing from my own, just whatever, and that evolved into what I'm doing now.
Cool. Very cool. So you were talking about like your style and how it's a little bit hard to get shows. You got strong Frank Turner vibes.
Thanks.
Um,
Or
it's
fuck you. I don't know which.
it's that no. It's the
I'm joking. I'm joking.
it's the the punk rock
Mhm.
is there. It's the I don't have a band and I still want to play music and this acoustic guitar is fun to beat around
Right.
kind
right.
of vibe.
Yeah.
That's that's exactly what I got from that time I saw you at that open mic. And you played some of your stuff and you played some with your daughter
Yeah. Correct.
at that,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
I thought was very cool.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest compliments I've ever gotten, somebody told me that I sounded like Frank Turner, Green Day, and Weezer had a three-way, and then I popped out of it. So I was like, oh, that's very nice of me
Yeah,
to say.
that's legit. That sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does your daughter write songs too?
She's learning, so she's just started. She finally got a band together. She's been wanting to do that, so she started writing. I try to help her, but I try to stay out of it because I think it's important to find your own process and your own voice, and so I don't want to influence that on her too much. So,
yeah.
I've tried to help her just with structure and phrasing and things like
Sure.
that, but not without saying like, oh, you should try this line here or you should try this line here. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So your song "Bury Me,"
Mhm.
you played that on the show today, which we'll cut to at the end. You sent me a couple days ago. You've pissed off a lot of people
Yeah.
based
So-
on this song.
So many people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, so that's the newest single. It's out on all the streaming stuff. Prior to I have an album coming and a bunch of stuff to just shamelessly whore myself for in
Hell
the
yeah.
show. But that song I actually wrote. That song's probably 20 years old, but I've never really recorded it. I've never really done anything with it. But it's always consistently been something that I've come back to for people have liked it. Whatever the case may be.
Gotcha. Well, you've at least rewritten one line about the ex-wives because I can't imagine
Yeah.
you had all three of those.
I just had to change from 2 to 3 at the
Oh,
time I wrote the
gotcha.
song.
Gotcha.
Just
Yeah.
added a number.
Yeah, just-
Still worked with the phrasing. It's fine.
Just for funsies, we've all got them. It's all right.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So, do you want to talk about any of that song in particular, like lyric-wise, or how you wrote it, or
yes.
what it's like to revisit
Sure.
so many years later?
Yeah, it's weird for me. So I don't write. I'm really shitty at metaphor. I'm really shitty. I have like no deeper meaning. I hear other artists like, oh, I was thinking of this, so I wrote this line. Like, no, I just spit it out like right in front of me.
Yeah.
Whatever's there. And something that I try to do live is I try to revisit how I felt when I wrote the song, and that's what I try to dig into for the performances and all of those things. And so yeah, like it doesn't really get that old to play because the responses, as long as people are responding and I get the ego stroke, then I don't give a shit. I'll play the song 1,000 times.
Yeah,
Right.
great.
And so, yeah, it always feels fresh to the point of like that part of my life has never really subsided. And so it's always, my behavior has, but my overall abrasiveness has not. Right. So it's still something that I feel is relevant to that was probably the first song I wrote that I kind of embraced being a dickhead, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Right. I just was like, oh, here we are.
Did it feel good?
Yeah,
To
it did.
embrace that?
It did.
Yeah.
I know a lot of artists. Actually, you made a statement on one of the other shows, which, by the way, I started listening. I usually don't listen to shows at all. I'm a horrible person, but I listened to a few episodes, and you're fantastic.
Thanks.
just
Thanks for doing your homework.
Like I said, just to give you a little handy
Yeah.
during your show. But you said something on the Sycamore Bones episode that I thought was really cool, and you said that you'll start writing something. And then the direction that's going, you're like, I felt like too much of an asshole to finish it how it's going, right? So I
Sure.
need to like redirect it. And something that at least what I've done that's whatever is like I just learned to embrace that asshole. Like, nope, I'm just going to throw it out there, and people either like love it or hate it, and either way, you're getting attention from it. Does that make
Yeah,
this,
that's
this
fair.
makes me sound like a sad, like I'm just desperate for attention, but I love that
They
attention.
love that attention. Yeah.
Like in my home life, I am reclusive. I don't get out. I hate all that stuff. But when I play, I want all eyes
It's
on me, which I think is common, right, with
yeah.
musicians and
It's
artists.
it's like a whole thing. You get that energy from it. You get like you feel alive. You feel like I matter maybe for 30 minutes, but like at least that 30 minutes,
Right.
somebody's listening.
Yeah,
and
well, I feel
watching.
like not saying that I am, but most successful artists, or just artists in general, that create because they love it, it's like this equal part pretentious, I'm better than everybody, I'm the most talented motherfucker on this planet, mixed with I am worthless, I'm shitty, nothing I create is good, and I'm the most insecure person on the planet. And those two things mixed together, depending on where you're at in the creative process or where you're at, right? It's
You
like
gotta
this
have
dichotomy
balance, man.
of the two things, yeah. But they're both extremes, right? Neither one
Right.
was like, oh yeah, I'm pretty good, I'm happy with this, and it's like no. Most humility that I found with artists, it's all projected, right? Because we don't want to come like the good ones. We don't want to come across as being a fucking asshole, and so it's like it's like, oh thanks. I'm like, oh, that's a great show, instead of being like, oh yeah, I fucking know, I killed. It's always like, oh thanks, man, that's nice of you to say. I
Yeah.
appreciate it, right? Because you can't, and because right after a show is when you usually have that grandiose "fuck you, I'm amazing" type of feeling, and then you're home writing and you're like, oh, this is shitty, I'm fucking terrible, I hate myself,
Right.
type of thing.
And then you see the video playback from that show, and you're like, God damn it! It felt a lot better than it sounded.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's just this cyclical
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, we played a show a little while back, and I propped up my phone. I recorded the whole thing, and I'm like, "Let me get some content, baby."
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Man, you guys were great." I'm like,
Right.
Thanks.
Yep.
But when I listened back to it, I'm like, "Oh, that was sloppy."
And I feel like too, though, that most musicians, when you perform, we forget how forgiving live sound is and how forgiving energy is.
Yeah, because you got the vibes in the room that account for a whole lot.
Right. And when you're in a venue,
plus alcohol.
Right, alcohol, and it's also just loud and thumping. Nobody's going to hear that missed guitar lick,
No.
right? Unless it's really, really bad. Nobody's going to hear that missed chord. Nobody's going to realize, because they're just in there to fucking to share that moment with you,
Yeah.
right? And the sharing that moment is more important than you nailing the part.
And if you're playing your own songs, at least in my experience, no one fucking has ever listened to them before anyway, so they don't know that you hit a weird thing. Maybe you put that on purpose.
Well, it's funny you say that. I have one song that I recorded for the album coming up that I've played live quite a bit. And I had one lady message me. She was like, "You changed the fucking line." And I was like, "No, I didn't." And she was like, "No, you changed it. You changed it. You sing this live." Because I'd sent just a little demo out to a couple people that have come out to a lot of shows, like a little preview thing. And she was like, "You changed that line. You need to change it back." I'm like, "It's already released. I'm not changing shit." And she was like, "I don't like it. I don't like the song now." And I'm like, "Okay."
Right.
So every now and then people listen, but not that often.
Yeah. I put out. I don't really want to make this about me. So
Let's make it about you.
This is the last thing.
Let
I
me
wanna
interview
say.
you. Let's switch
No,
this
we're
up.
not doing that. But to kind of like to your point, I put out an EP a couple years ago, 2022, I think, and the opening song is like the full recording of it, but I also put the phone demo as like the last track on
Yeah,
that
that's
EP.
awesome.
And there is a significant lyric change, and only one person that I'm aware of has noticed, but that person was like, "Why did you change that lyric?" Because it made me sound like a dick.
Right.
I didn't like it. I didn't like how I felt
Yeah.
listening back to it. But that was just the quick demo. Like, hey, I wrote this song right now. Let me get it down.
Right.
But it just felt weird, so I changed it.
Yeah.
And it feels a little bit better, at least. But
Yeah, like there's a line in that particular song, and the whole thing is based on, like, the hook is, "I smoke because I hate myself, I drink because I hate you," is like the hook of the song.
yeah,
And then there's a line,
that's actually a pretty cool.
thanks, but there's a line that talking about something, and the line is, what I used to sing live is, "You're not the only one here disappointed in me," and I changed it to, "You're the only one here disappointed in me," and it changes the meaning slightly, but not exceptionally. I just like
Yeah.
how it was phrased better, and that was the only change.
Sure.
And she was like, "That changes the whole meaning," type
I
of
mean,
thing.
it does change. It does change a little bit. Like,
Well, one is because I don't give a shit, and the other is like, oh, like everybody's this, this is a change. I just like the phrasing. It had no meaning behind
yeah,
the
that's
change.
fair.
Yeah.
But it does make it feel a little bit more personal
Yeah.
on the "you're the only one." Like,
hmm Well, yeah, and to me that line also changed it to be like, listen, like I don't, nobody else cares. Like you're the only one here. Like, and
Yeah.
I pictured that line. I pictured as like we're the only two people in the room, and you're like if you're having an argument, right? Well, you're the only one that cares, and that
Right.
just general like
Look at
face to
look at everyone
face,
else having a great time.
right? Yeah, that type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's fair.
No.
So do you want to talk about your album that you've got coming up?
Yeah. So it's called Therapy. It was actually originally released in January, but I fucked up the upload to the streaming services and had to get it pulled. And so it re-releases in March, but then I have this huge album re-release party kickoff. It's going to be
I saw that
dope. It's going to be
at the Rooster.
yeah, in the Estonia. Yeah, that's going to be a great show. There's another local band called Skiway. I think they're from out of Hickory. They just popped up out of nowhere. They played at the premiere a few times. A bunch of young kids, but they're
Okay, cool.
fantastic. And then a band called King Yugi and the Royal Hearts, which is like a music collective, but just great folks. They're a little high energy, more bluesy
Very cool.
rock, and then a little local guy out of Gastonia doing a little acoustic opener. And then I'll have a full band that show. It's the first time I play with a full
Oh, hell
band
yeah.
in probably 12 years.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. But anyway,
What's the date for that show?
April 24th.
April 24th.
And it's only $10 in advance. We wanted to price it like old school pricing. You doing math?
I'm trying to figure out when this episode's coming out. In
Oh.
accordance to that, we might be just before it. We might be just in the
Oh,
window.
nice. But
Just in the window for people to hear this and then come to your show. You're gonna have so many more
So many
people
people.
show up just because of this.
I hope so. But yeah, man, the record it's just a 10-track full length. A couple old things that I re-recorded, but mostly new stuff I've written over the last like probably 5 years or so. When I started, I don't know, I was like, I gotta write because I work in the technical field now for work, and it just sucks every bit of like life out of my soul. And I was like, I've got to like start doing something. So I started
yeah.
writing a little bit again, and a lot of that was birthed out of those I hate saying sessions. It sounds so douchey, but out of those times of writing, it's out of those writing sessions.
Those sessions we were doing.
But yeah, so I'm pretty happy. Like I have a few older recorded things that I don't talk about. I played under a different name, like solo back in the day.
Do you want to talk about it now and tell us what it is?
I'm not gonna. No. I'll talk about the music. I mean,
Will
I
you
have
tell
some
me
great
about it
songs.
when we cut the
Yes,
mics
I'll
off?
tell you about.
All right.
Okay,
great.
I'll say I used to play under Stephen Bryan, first and middle name. And I've got 3 releases. One of them was the first thing I ever really did, which is back in the day. My vocals are shit. It was very well recorded and produced by a young kid. He was a fresh Full Sail graduate, and but an old buddy of mine. So I let him track it, and no idea what I was doing. My vocals were shit, but it was well recorded. He did a great job. And then I did a second album, other full length that was recorded. It was more of a collaboration record. It was my name, but all I did was play the songs, and this dude did all the production, all the work. So he had the musical freedom to do whatever he wanted, and it was on my songs. And it's really good, but it sounds nothing like me, right? Like I stand by the songs, but from a stylistic standpoint, it sounds
Just
nothing,
not you.
right? And then the third one, I have an EP called "Bury Me" that actually this was the track on it, but when I was recording it, I was just shit-faced the whole time. It was self-recorded, self-produced.
You didn't have that button that just
Right. No,
like,
I was
lets
bad.
it seep out a little bit at a time.
This is this before mentioned unmedicated bipolar era. So
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of fucking oxy and drinking a lot of alcohol, and it's just ass. Like again,
Yeah,
I
that's
stand by
a
the
bad
songs.
combination for
I
recording.
stand by the songs, but the mix is shit. It's out of time in certain places. Like it drives me crazy to listen to. So this new one. Coming out, Therapy is fully self-produced. I recorded, edited, all that stuff on my own.
Good for you.
Yeah, but I've learned a lot since then, and whatever, and I wanted to do it, and I couldn't afford to have someone else do it. So,
fair.
but like the single "Bury Me," that was all me. I did that whole thing. So yeah, it's more like just a big manic trauma dump is what therapy is, more or less.
I mean,
So,
that's what therapy is for.
yeah. And just to give a shout out, the album art, well, same thing for "Bury Me" for the single art is done by my ex-wife, which is fucking still weird to say. It's pretty fresh, but like she's the most talented artist I've ever known. Like she's fantastic, and like she has a threadless shop. This is one of her shirts that
Okay,
she
very
made.
cool.
So I'll support her to the fucking end. She's the most wonderful.
Do you want to plug that?
Yeah, so it's artgirlonfire.threadless.com. It's her threadless store. But she's got a lot of women empowerment stuff, but also just funny things for everybody. But that's her more silly stuff. And then it's Art Girl on Fire is her art page. Art Girl on Fire,
Like on Instagram and
on
such.
Instagram and stuff. And amazing painter, visual artist. She's like legit fantastic. I'll plug her all day long. I don't care where things are between us. which they're good. Like we're very cordial, but even if we weren't, like she's just wonderful. So that's a little plug for her.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
No, it's sorry, Amanda Massey Artwork. That's the art page. Amanda Massey Artwork on
Okay,
Instagram.
cool.
Yeah.
All
Anyway,
right.
sorry, that was a little
No,
little off show.
plug away, man. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, so much of what I'm doing with this podcast, so much of the idea behind Caffeinated Mammal, which is the name of this podcast.
And
the
a
name
great
of my,
fucking
the name
name.
Of my,
Yeah.
Thank you. The name of my studio, but I also, the tagline is Music and Art Collective, because I want it to just be, I want to be able to kind of help promote all the things.
Yeah.
And all the things that, realistically, it was all the things that I do that I'm trying to
Yeah.
put underneath it. But ultimately, like, the
Yeah.
idea, it's a collective, it's a thought, and really my whole thing is community.
Yeah, it's important and it gets overlooked in the music scene, right? Because
Yeah.
people tend to be very self-centered and very dickish. Like then, like the weird thing is the concept of the sharing fans. People like I've had people tell me I don't want you playing on my bill because I don't want you like stealing fans. I'm like that's not how fucking music works, man.
What?
Yeah, I've been told that by other bands and bands get weirdly threatened by people that are like,
That's
right.
it's a hell of a compliment.
I know that's how I took it.
Yeah.
I love the hate. I really do. But I had one band I played with this back in the day. I opened for them. I pulled a few more people and I brought it. Like they tanked. It was one of those shows like they were a good band, but they had a really bad show. Like it was just a shit show. So I outplayed the fuck out of them as a solo artist, and
Hell
they
yeah.
never would play with me again after that.
No.
But anyway, but community's weird. So my whole thing is like if we're playing a show together, you and I, like when we get on stage,
Which I would really like to do, actually.
I'd love to. But like we get on stage together, right? Or not together, but on the same bill together.
Sure.
When I get up to play, my goal is to be the best fucking performer on that bill. Like I want to outshine everybody. But as soon as we're off stage, I'm your biggest fucking fan, right? Because it's community. And I
High
want to
fives and
support.
hugs and hand jobs.
Yeah, that's
high
what
fives, hugs,
it's
and
all.
hand, high fives, hugs, and hand
Yeah,
jobs.
boy,
That's
the Triple H.
That's our new tagline.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. But to me, that's so important because I want the other bands to do well. Because if they're thriving and the scene is thriving, that means more shows for you. That means more shows for me. That means more exposure to an audience. Like that collaboration is huge.
Yeah.
And people, I think a lot of bands don't see that because they just want to get big, right? They want to get to where they want to go. And it's hard to get there if you're not playing big shows, right? If you're not getting to more ears and you're not getting to more listeners and more fans. Because that's the end of the day, right? Success as an artist, recording artist, comes down to people like, oh, it's just about fulfilling. Blah, blah. You know, if you want to define success, it's a fan base and it's being able to do it.
Yeah.
To do it. It might not be selling out arenas, but if you're doing it, that's where it's at, you know.
Yeah, I've seen, and I don't remember who was saying this, but I've seen, some TikTok, Instagram clips, whatever, of artists talking about like how people ask them if they're like mid-level tier bands, like being asked, "Are you disappointed that you never found success?" And I'm like, I get to do this.
Yeah.
Like I might not be selling out stadiums. I might not be fucking on SNL, but I get to do this.
Yeah.
That's pretty successful.
Yeah, and that was a big shift for me, being at the age I am now and starting to play again, right? I'm doing it now just because I love to do it, and I just, when I get to do a show, I'm excited. I get to play a show, but I'm not promoting hard. I'm not out there because it's a labor of love, right? It's not about making it or whatever the case may be.
Sure.
I'm
It's just
like,
about making music.
it's about making music and people enjoying the music when I do play. But I'm lazy as shit, man. I have as some of us do, full-time job. I've got 2 fucking kids. I don't have time to promote and make content and all these things. And so my expectation in the modern music industry to do something huge is just not there. If it falls in your lap, which doesn't happen these days, like it used to in the 70s and 60s. And, that's the whole myth, right? That there's going to be an executive show up to your show and they're going to be like, oh, these guys are amazing. I need them on my label. It's
No,
not
that's
that,
not a thing.
It's not
Like,
that thing you do.
Get
right?
more followers and talk to me.
Which is still one of the greatest music movies of all time, by the way. It's That Thing You Do. Fucking
It's so
Tom
good.
Hanks. Yeah. But, which, I'm sorry, I want to throw back just for a second because I
Please.
meant to mention this. I mentioned the Sycamore Bones episode earlier.
Yeah.
When I first moved here, everybody was like, oh, Steven Massey, are you related to Andrew? Are you related to Andrew? I don't know all the guys from Sycamore Bones, but I know Andrew. I wouldn't say pretty well, but he's a good acquaintance. Dude, he's one of the most phenomenally talented motherfuckers.
Oh, incredible.
He's one of the, and he's an amazing artist. Like he, sculpts and all this other stuff. And I hate him with all of my soul, but I love him with my whole heart because he's one of those assholes And have you ever encountered these people that you see them? They're the nicest people in the world, and also just innately talented in everything they put their hands on.
And he's very community driven.
Yeah, and he does so much for the community musically.
I appreciate Andrew. If you're listening,
fuck you.
I just one, fuck you.
Right.
Two, thank you so much for
Yeah.
everything you do for our community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of those musicians. Yeah.
For resharing every goddamn promotional thing anyone posts.
Yep. Like he's a true artist. He's a true Renaissance guy, man. He's one of those people again. Like I hate him for how talented he is, but he's such a nice dude, and I love him so much.
Such a good songwriter,
Yeah.
though.
Oh, no, yeah, so I'm saying everything. He's just fucking stupid good. Anyway,
Yeah.
I had to go.
And super nice.
Yeah, that's just everything. He's everything. Well, I had a old.
He's a total dreamboat.
He is, and he's a beautiful man. He's a beautiful man. Anyway,
Sorry.
that's all right. Moving on.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that. Like he's part of the reason. Like I don't know. He's just been very encouraging even since I moved to town as the new guy, and just a super nice dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I connected with him 3 years ago now, or 4 years ago. I don't know. A few years ago. And it's been cool.
Yeah.
He's a pal. He's good for community. I mean,
I'm gonna spend half of my time plugging other people, and like your show and other people. Like that's my purpose.
I love how you're plugging my show on my show.
Yeah, right.
If you're listening to this, you should listen to this podcast.
Right. Specifically this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah. No, it's cool, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, plug away. Community.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
How many tracks are you going to have on your album that you're working on?
It's gonna be a full length LP. It's 10.
Okay.
I thought about doing a couple more, but I was like, I worked hard to get 10 songs over the last, few years because I'm not a prolific writer by any means. Like I can sit down and write if I have to. Like when I could sit down and spit something out that I'm not going to be happy with. No. So the stuff I end up recording and keeping or playing is all stuff that's been an organic experience in writing.
Sure.
I did have a project prior called The Broken Fits that was with my ex-wife and I. And that's the first time I've ever co-written, which even then, like, I would not want to be in a band with me, right? Because she's, and again, amazing artist, a great poet, great writer, and everything was still very much driven by where I thought it would go. She was very gracious in letting how we wrote. But anyway, we did an EP in Nashville, and it's completely different than anything I do, but it's magically done. Like it's all
the
mushy,
Broken Fits.
The Broken Fits.
Is it out?
It is out.
Okay.
It's on all the things, but it's all love songs. It's all like regret and heartache and love. And we wrote it not long after we went through a bunch of shit because of me. And so it's kind of a product of that as a way for us to reconnect and move through things. So
fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
So you when you walked in, you mentioned the MXPX thing, and
Yeah.
we're roughly the same age, similar age.
Mhm.
Obviously listen to a lot of the same things. Were you ever a David Bazan, Pedro the Lion fan?
You
at
know
all?
what? So where I was at, I'm a late bloomer in understanding music and my music is evolving. I knew Pedro the Lion. I couldn't get into Pedro the Lion at the time. I need to revisit them. I was actually talking to somebody about a lot of the old scene, and I was like, dude, I need to revisit some of these bands that I didn't get into when I was younger. Like Starflyer 59, right? I started loving them again like a few years ago, and I really hadn't liked them up
It
until
took
that
adult
point.
me to appreciate Starflyer.
Right.
If you're going to listen to Pedro the Lion, I would suggest start with an album called Control.
Okay.
But I bring this up to say, I remember seeing him once, and he's done several projects over the years. He's done, obviously, Pedro the Lion. He's done an electronic side project called Headphones. Was a part of a band called Low Tom. He's put out stuff under his own name. There's probably something I've forgotten in this moment.
Right.
But I remember hearing him say something about, if you're making music, consistently put music out under one name, because it's a fucking headache to be like, hey, here are all these projects that I've done, and I'm the main guy in all of them,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
But it just, when you're talking about, I mean, obviously like a side project, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you've released stuff under your another half of your name,
Right,
or
another
this
half
half of your name.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that always sticks with me, because I've thought plenty of times about burning down Deer Cav and starting over another project when it doesn't make sense. It's okay to change.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we get very emotionally attached to music projects, right? Like this, it's because music and creation is very much a part of you, right? So if you it feels like even if you put it aside, you're neglecting something, right? Or if you, like I said, burn it down and do something else, it's almost like killing a kid,
Oh yeah,
you know,
it's
like full Casey Anthony on that son of a bitch. It's- yeah.
yeah, and
But moving on or doing something different is not the same. It's not saying that the old stuff wasn't good. It's just saying I need to change. But I
right,
think that's a hard concept to
yeah,
wrap your
for
head
sure.
around. So.
Plus, it just makes sense to. It's okay to grow and change, and
Yeah,
you've got that like, look, here's how we grew and changed and evolved
yeah,
as musicians, as songwriters, as people.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't. I've been the
no,
same for forever. No, I'm terrible at
fucking
growth.
cool,
No,
great.
it's funny. My old bass player in Hawaii, when I was out there, named Josh Edelstein, phenomenal fucking bass player. Also Jewish, unfortunately, but great. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He gives me. I grew up very Christian, and he grew up very Orthodox, and so also one of the smartest dudes I've ever met. But we give each other shit all the time. He'll text me, and be like, "What's up, Jesus boy?" And then, that type of shit.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, yeah.
he'll listen to this as the only reason I made the Jewish comment. But anyway, I'm justifying my racism. Um, yeah, we'll just keep that in. But anyway, he
Oh, I
called
don't
me.
edit this
Yeah,
shit at
no,
all.
that's great. No, he messaged me the other day. He was like, "Dude, you're such a fucking one-trick pony. You're basically Wham." And I was like, "Fuck you, man." Or Oingo Boingo. That's what he said.
Boingo
Oingo
boingo.
Boingo.
That's funny.
And I was like, "Fuck you, dude." And he was like, "No, I'm kidding. I love you." And I was like, "I love you too." But he gives me shit all the time. He was
Yeah.
like, "Dude, you do the same fucking thing all the time, just different." He goes, "You do the same thing but different." He goes, "It's all good, but fuck you."
Yeah. Well, thanks for helping expand our footprint. We are
Right.
now one listener in Hawaii.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, love the dude. Anyway, yeah, so I played with a full band out there, and I loved having the full band. Like, well, they were a backing band. We weren't like a collaborative band.
Sure. But still under your name.
Still under my name, and that's same thing with
Did you ever do the like, and the whatever, like Steven Massey and the jerk offs, or
If I had like more
I don't know
time,
why
so
that was the
no,
example.
great. Like actually, I wanted the name I wanted for that. I already had one in mind. I wanted to be Stephen Bryan at the time and the Dirty Stayouts. That's what I wanted for the band name. But no, it was just Stephen Bryan at that time. And then I've wanted to do that, but I haven't been consistently having a band to make that happen. But yeah, I would love to have an
and the
because
yeah,
that's such a pretentious thing to have, and I love it so much.
yeah,
Yeah. But
good.
yeah, but the guys that are playing with me on the 24th, I've been lucky enough to meet a lot. There's so many great musicians here. It's like this
Yeah.
untapped like depth of fantastic talent. And I ran into one dude, was it the patio here, whatever drummer, a dude I met. His name's AJ Herrick. He's gonna be playing guitar with me, and the dude I met in Gastonia, that's a bass player, is playing bass for me.
Cool.
So it's like it's cool. All come. It's been hard to shit to
So it's you're doing a 4-piece.
yeah 4-piece. Yep. So
Sick.
we're all playing together. A couple rehearsals here and there, but they're all. I sent them all the material, and they're all fucking killing
Very
it.
cool.
So.
Do you think this will be a one-off or like a whole thing?
For now, a one-off. But if it goes well and other opportunities come up, sure. But I very much every show that I've gotten over the last like year and a half since I've been back or since playing again has all just fallen in my lap. I haven't or I've asked like, hey, you need an opener? And somebody's like, yeah, I'll have an opener. But like, I haven't been sending out EPKs or trying to book shit. It's all just
Right.
been through relationships and
Sure.
types of things. That's the only reason. Like, I still I have a love-hate relationship with open mics. Like I've moved a lot. I was in the military for a while, and so like every time you move, it's like starting over again at the music scene. So you have to hit the open mics. You have to meet other musicians. You have to go to shows.
Yeah.
And so like I know how important open mics are for the community, for young musicians, for everybody. But like every time I start over, but there's an element, and you can I'm sure understand this, of after you get to a certain point, it's not that you're above open mics, but you're above open mics.
You're just tired of them.
You're not even just tired of them. It's like, no, I play shows. I play for how many people, and I might go here to hone a song, but like I shouldn't have to come and play open mics anymore. Like
But
it's a starting point.
that's fair, but that is the beauty of open mics. It's
Yes.
like, hey, I've got 2 new songs. Let me come
Right.
play
And
them.
like I said, that's why I have a love-hate, right? It's very much a love-hate because I love them for what they're for what they do, for how they encourage younger people, how they're a great sounding board for new songs. But at the same time, man, the open mic scenes are just so shit in most places. Like the people that go are some of the most, I shouldn't say all, because like the Premier's fantastic, right? There's a lot of great, and depending on how they're run. But a lot of bigger cities, these dive bar open mics you go into and just like, fuck. You have this small clique of people that are running the whole thing. Their friends are getting slipped in. And you're just
Right.
like,
And a
"God
lot of
damn
times it's some of them tend to be the same people
Yeah.
every week or 2 weeks or however often it does.
Yeah,
And
I have an 80-15-5 theory that has held consistent for 90% of open mics I've
do
been to.
tell.
So most open mics, and again, this is going to sound super dickish, but most open mics are 80% absolute fucking trash. And I'm talking about quality of performers, not the actual open mic.
Okay.
Because they're either learning or they think they're good and they're not, or, whatever the case may be. And so by saying shitty or trash, I don't mean that like they have no future. It just means they're either starting out or they're people that are just not good, right? That's the category of just that. And then you have a 15% that's pretty good. Like, okay, these guys are all right. I enjoyed. And then you have a 5% that's stellar. That you're like, oh shit, these guys are fantastic. And that's proved consistent ballpark wise in almost every open mic scene I've been in.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's my 18-15-5 rule.
80-80-15-5.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I always go into that expecting it. To me, it makes them more tolerable. So I love seeing new people, no matter how shitty they are starting out. Like that shittiness is part of growing and part of learning and part of starting.
Yeah.
Like I love that element of shit.
You've got to be bad
to be good
if you want to get good.
Right. Because otherwise you don't appreciate any of it, right? You have to start somewhere. And like my daughter is always like, I don't want to play on my own because she's trying to learn stuff. She goes, because I don't want to suck. I'm like, it's okay to suck. It actually is good for you to suck in front of other people because you realize there's worse things that can happen to you.
Yeah.
The first time I ever played, I got booed off the fucking stage. It was a harsh open mic.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man. Like I bombed. Somebody yelled, "Take off your fucking shirt," and I was super embarrassed. I didn't finish the song. I just fucking left. But you know what? That failing and that being shitty is part of becoming great. And I love that. But what I hate are the people that think their shit don't stink that come in and they're just absolute. Like, I love ripping those guys a fucking part.
That's fair.
And like, so if a young musician comes up that's starting and says, hey, what'd you think about that? I will give them the most constructive, kind criticism I can. Like, dude, you were great. Like, you might want to think of cutting your song back a couple minutes, or this. But otherwise, you did a great job.
You're great, but your songs are really bad.
No, I don't even say that. I'm like, dude, I'll be like, no, that's great, man. It's going so. And it's not half the time, unless they ask me for something specific. It's just very general. Great job. Keep rolling. Like, you were awesome.
Yeah.
The ones that come in that absolutely suck, that act like assholes, those guys, I'll be an asshole to.
Yeah.
Not unsolicited, but they'll come and be like, oh, what'd you think of that? And I'll be like, that fucking blew, dude. Because somebody needs to, if the attitude is there, right?
Sure.
Because we all need to be humble, right? And I'm a dick and I don't care.
And you're happy to be the guy to do it?
I'm happy to be the guy that does it. But again, I'm always
you're like the humble hitman if I need somebody, if I need...
Yeah, well, like because there's an element of when you get to a certain point, you need honest feedback, whether that's the meanest thing in the world or the kindest thing in the world. And kindness is the baseline, right? Unless you give me a reason to be a dick, I'm never going to be a dick. And I'm not talking about some flippant, oh, you gave me a side eye. I'm talking about like you're just being an asshole to everyone in the room. And then you're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'll absolutely say something.
You're totally the coolest guy in the scene, except... You gotta...
Everyone else. I know that's super dickish of me. I get that, but like I'm very encouraging to everyone I can be. But like I can't stand that I'm better than you mentality.
Yeah.
I hate it. So I act like I'm better than them.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I refuse to play open mics.
No, I don't refuse. I play them all the fucking time.
Right.
Actually, there are some great ones, and I'll plug some open mics here that I think are great for the open mic community.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we've already plugged our old pal Andrew. He does a cool one at
Liquid Roots.
Liquid Roots.
You got the monthly one at the Premiere, which the Hickory Music Factory, which is a great organization, puts on. It's a huge community open mic.
Yeah, played that once.
There's one at the Rooster in Gastonia, which it's a little more, roughneck rowdy, but it's an all ages thing. They love new music. They love everybody playing.
I love an all ages situation.
Yeah. And it's even a bar, so you can go and get drinks and shit. It's very much a bar, but it's very much There's people that bring their kids. I take my daughter there all the time.
Yeah. No, I think the all ages thing is so important because when I was a teenager, punk rock shaped me.
Yeah.
And had I not had a place to go, I wouldn't be who I am today. Yeah. And so it's great that there are venues that open up to all ages.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. It's really important to...
Yeah. You have to consume music to grow in music, I think. Yeah. And then the Reeves Theater in Elkin. It's much more of a sitting room environment, a little more laid back. Like I stick out there like a sore thumb. I do not fit the vibe, but they've been nothing but kind to me every time I've
that's
gone.
Cool.
Yeah, they're super awesome folks. So those are my big. There's probably a shit ton more. Those are the main ones I've been to, and everybody's been wonderful at all of those.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to plug?
No, we hit the single that's out now, the Bury Me. We hit How Much of an Asshole I Am. We hit the new record coming out. It's gonna be March 6th, I think, is when it's gonna
Okay,
release on the
cool.
platforms.
So
And then
that'll be about a month before this episode comes out. So you can go listen to it
yeah,
now.
go listen to it now on all streaming platforms.
Instead, just cut this. Stop listening to this. Go listen to that instead.
No, and then the show April 24th. It's gonna be a huge. We're expected
Rooster.
to be a huge show. It's in Gastonia if you like making the drive, but it's well.
And give us that lineup again.
It's going to be a local guy from Gastonia, acoustic opening. His name's Adorable Will. A band called Skiway. They're based out of Hickory here, I believe. I might be wrong. A bunch of young kids. Very much like an indie pop with some punk rock underneath it. Very melodic. They're
Cool.
great. And then a band called King Yugi and the Royal Hearts, which they play here in Hickory a good bit at different spots. But they're very much a blues rock. Like they're killer, high energy.
Cool. So you got kind of a mixed bag of stuff.
My thing was I just wanted it to be fun, right? Like just great bands that could play well, that are just like that'll bring it, like the energy, and then myself, of course,
Cool.
headlining the night.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
All right. Right on.
Yeah,
I
dude.
will do my best to be there.
Yeah, you're cordially invited. You're on the list, bro. You're on the list.
Yes.
No, I'm actually for the show. I am also, if you're over 21. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but there might be free drinks for certain folks that come out.
Really sweet of you.
Well, that encourages the party.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
We want you to loosen up and have a great time.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, man.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Dude, I've had a great time. Thank you for
yeah.
having me. Like I said, I think this is a great show. I really do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's fun for me.
Yeah.
Mostly. My whole thing is I want to do cool shit with my friends and help support the community, and that's
No, dude, you're doing it.
kind of this.
Yeah, and now I'm sitting here thinking back about some of this conversation. I'm like, oh my God, I am such a fuck bag. But that's okay.
Nah, man. This is a good time.
That's good. It's good.
Yeah. Plus the show gets weird sometimes.
Yeah,
Let's just
no,
let it
dude,
flow.
I'm a big fan of like sincerely just embracing who you are, right? Because to me, that's going to make you can be a complete asshole, but if you're honest about being an asshole, people are cool with it because you're honest about who you are, right? And then it's a lot more forgiving than to be like pretend to be a nice person and then be a fucking dick. Like those are two very different things. And I think like, dude, you have to embrace like every part of your shitty personality to be comfortable in your own skin to a point.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my stupid philosophical bullshit for the day.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Well, let's end on that. Let's end on some philosophical bullshit.
Nice.
Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, man.
And we'll cut to this tune.
Hell yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Here's Steven Massey performing his song "Bury Me."
Well, she's a tall drink of water, I'm a son of a bitch. I walk a mile in her shoes, but her shoes didn't fit. All she wanted was my love, and all she got was a sip. But that's just how love goes. We spent the bulk of the summer in the back of my car. We always kept her in drive, but didn't get very far. I promised her the world, and all she got was a scar. But that's just how love goes. So bury me, I deserve all that I get. I swear that I've been making trouble for the people that have loved me since the day that we first met. And let me bleed, don't you try and bandage me. I know that there's a line of people that would love to see me meeting my end. Well, I said there's a line of people that would love to see me meeting my end. Now listen, well, I'm my parents' only son, a blackened sheep and a bastard born. They bear their shame and I bear my scorn in ways God only knows. And I've been running for most of my life, for past mistakes and my 3 ex-wives. I've lost my friends, they've lost their lives, in ways God only knows. So bury me, I deserve all that I get. I swear that I've been making trouble for the people that have loved me since the day that we first met. And let me bleed, don't you try and bandage me. I know that there's a line of people that would love to see me meeting my end. Well, I said there's a lot of people that would love to see me meeting my end. Alright. So take your breath and take it deep. Let the words fall from your teeth. Be them harsh or be them sweet. Let them come to rest on me. Raise your arms and clench your fists. Let them fall upon my chest. Beat this heart and give me rest. You've waited for this day. So bury me, I deserve all that I get. I swear that I've been making trouble for the people that have loved me since the day that we first met. And let me bleed, don't you try and bandage me. I know that there's a lot of people that would love to see me meeting my end. Well, I said there's a lot of people that would love to see me meeting my end. Don't you try and bandage me, I know.